Steve Kim for ESPN.com. I'm here with Mikey Garcia. March 16th, he takes on IBF welterweight champion Errol Spence in Arlington, Texas. Mikey, let's go back a bit. When you first mentioned the fight, I had the reaction like everyone else that you were barking up the wrong tree, that you were the boy who cried big fight. When did you first think of this fight? When did it first enter your mind as a possibility?
I saw him fight Peterson, and that's when I said, you know what? I want that. I want that fight. I gotta get through these fights first, but that's where I want to be. If I do move up to welterweight, that's the guy I want to face.
Now I find that interesting because when he fought Lamont Peterson, he dominated. Then obviously you see something. I don't know if you want to get into it, but what exactly happened on that particular night where you said to yourself, "I could beat this guy"?
I'm watching the fight. I'm watching him, and yes, he was very dominant against Peterson, and even though Peterson's a experienced, former champion, and he fought well, he tried. You can see the size and the strength and skill level that Spence has. But even that just didn't really impress me to stay away or to keep away or anything like that. I saw little things that I told Robert, hey, let's go after this guy.
So you saw holes. You saw things that, hey, I see openings that I can get through.
I'm a fighter. I see things differently than you.
Well, yeah.
We see things in a different way. We have the ability to see things that the average person never gets a chance to see or can really read on the opponents. And I was able to pick up on some stuff. And I told Robert, and at first he was also saying, no, why? There's no need. But started watching the fights, and he said, you know what? Yeah, I get it.
When this fight started to become serious, and it looked like this was gonna come to fruition, how many times or how many people came up to you and said, Mikey, the guy is simply too big?
Everybody. Yeah. Everybody was saying the same thing, and they still are. I don't know what percentage of people, but everybody still believes that he is just too big for me, that there's no way I can compete, against him, being that he is naturally a huge 147 pounder. But now you start to get some folks out there starting to question whether, I actually might be able to pull this off. They like, well, at first it was like, no, there's no way. Mm-hmm. Now they're starting to maybe come to the sense like, hey, maybe he does have a chance. Maybe he does, see something. Maybe he's, the skill level is there, and maybe there's a possibility. So there's possibilities now more and more that people are starting to see, but I have always felt very confident in this fight. If not, I wouldn't be asking for a fight.
When you fought Sergey Lipinets, you picked up a 140-pound title. I thought you won the fight, but I thought it was a tough, solid fight. Given the nature of that bout, that didn't dissuade you at all?
No, not at all. We fought Sergey Lipinets. I seen him fight. I know he's a very strong, heavy-handed fighter. He was very dangerous. He probably was one of the guys that I faced that was naturally, bigger and stronger than any of my other previous opponents. But if anything, that kind of gave me more confidence. I went in there and defeated another champion who, like I said, at the time was undefeated and very strong, very dangerous. I had seen some of his, earlier fights, and I didn't feel I was in much of difference. It wasn't that much different for me. It was, I'm facing a bigger guy, but my skills are still there. My boxing reaction time, everything's still there. I did engage in more action during that fight. I could have stayed and boxed a little more defensive, but if I stayed too much on the defensive end, then it would have been a null fight. I wouldn't have been able to win decisively, clearly like that. So we needed to exchange a little more, and he was able to land some good shots too, but still didn't face him.
Now, what I found interesting is after that fight, you actually went down to 135 to unify your lightweight titles against the very tall, lanky Robert Easter. Now, I found this interesting. So you're going from 140 to 135, all the way up to 147. Before we talk about the effect on your body and adjusting to that new weight, is the Lomachenko fight, is there simply too much water under the bridge that is tainted with Top Rank to ever make that fight a realistic possibility?
At 135, I think there's no other fight that excites me more or that interests me other than a Lomachenko fight. I could have defended my title at 135, and I decided to even vacate the IBF. That didn't interest me. That fight with Conte didn't really interest me at all. There's other fights there, yeah, but they don't excite me. The only one that excites me enough would be a Vasiliy Lomachenko fight. Can it be done? Sure. I mean, if Bob Arum and Top Rank really want to get it done, we can sit down and talk about it. But I have yet to hear from them. And I know Lomachenko's down to fight. He's mentioned my name, for a few years now. He's mentioned, that he would love to fight me. I think first time I heard him was probably when he fought Walters, I think, if I'm on, or maybe one of the other guys. But I mean, he's mentioned for a long time, but have they really pushed for it? They've never reached out. They never talked. So I'm not also gonna be waiting. I need to move on, and I'm going against champions. I'm fighting top champions, top names in different divisions. Cause I got my idea of where I want to be in the boxing. I got my agenda. I got my schedule. I'm not trying to chase anybody. I don't know if their plan is even to fight me. I don't even know if they're willing to do it. So I'm not gonna just sit around.
Let's look ahead to March 16th. Back to Errol Spence. To me, it shows you being up here in the Bay Area. You're not here just for the paycheck. You feel as though, hey, you've got to take some measures to be not only competitive, but to win this fight. What has it been like training under the direction of Victor Conte and Remy Korchemny? Because I know this is a bit unusual. You've taken the snack products, but you've never done the full workout regimen. How's your body taken to this?
Look, we've always used, for my last 4 or 5 fights, we've used their products, but had never been here in-house working out, with them. And it is a little different. First 2 days felt real sick. I felt nasty. I almost threw. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I felt like I was passing out. It was so different, but my body was able to adapt and adjust pretty quickly. After those first initial 2 days, I was able to work through it, and now I'm much better than last week, and so on and so forth. Every week we see improvements. I do feel that it's gonna help me a lot. It's too early to say how much benefit I'm getting out of it, but I do feel already better than I was before.
Yeah, I mean, Mikey, because of your background with your father and your brother and your whole family, I look at you guys as meat and potatoes, traditional, old school boxing. Doing something like this, where you're not just running early in the morning 8 miles over a slow clip, you're sprinting, you're doing some stuff that a lot of Olympic athletes do on a day-to-day basis. How different has that been?
The training that they have for me set up right now is very focused on explosiveness, fast twitch, just being able to react quickly from one direction to another. It's very high intensity training, which in turn strengthens those parts of the body, those muscles and joints and ligaments. That will help me once I get in the ring, because that's what boxing is. You got to be able to jump in and out quickly. You got to be able to, avoid a certain corner, or maybe dodge a punch or whatever. You got to be able to react to it quickly, and you got to be able to counter punch quickly. And so the stuff that we're doing is gonna help in that way. Now, is it very different? Yes and no. I've done some of the drills, similar drills, not exact same drills, but I've done some stuff that I can kind of compare in the past with other coaches. But right now, because I'm moving up in weight, and fighting for the first time at 147, we have to make some adjustments to my training. So we also bring in a little bit of the lighter weights. We're working on building my body so that I can be strong enough to resist that size that I'm gonna be having on fight night. I'm gonna be fighting a guy who's probably gonna be outweighing me by, I don't know, maybe 12, 15, 16 pounds. So I gotta be able to, hold my own and be able to hold that size. So we are tweaking it a little bit, but it's nothing completely, out of this world that it's tearing me up. In fact, I think I'm doing so well. They're all surprised at how well I'm taking this.
So Mikey, I hear this from you fighters all the time, and I've done this for a long time. You guys are always in the best shape of your life. Can you honestly say March 16th, you think you will be in the best shape of your life?
I'm always in great shape, and I have no doubts that I'm gonna be able to, win this fight. I'm very confident in the fight. I'm confident in my abilities as a fighter, as a boxer. I just need to display it. people haven't had the opportunity to see all of me, and I haven't had the opportunity to show them because I haven't had the right opponent. So March 16th is the day that they will see, more of Mikey Garcia. And being in great shape with the regimen that they have right now is going to only help me do and perform much better on fight night.
Mikey, I find this interesting. At the beginning of the new year, it was announced that VADA testing, you and Errol Spence will be undergoing 10 weeks of random drug testing. How important was that? My understanding is that you guys really insisted on this.
We initially talked about both either USADA or VADA. I had no preference really. I mean, I have nothing negative to say about either one. But when we discussed the actual testing and the anti-doping agencies, because of recent events with other fighters, other athletes being tested for one, and then kind of testing dirty for another one.
Yeah.
It was hard to make a decision. We don't want to blame either one or say anything, but we both decided that VADA would be a better fit. We want to make sure that we have the most testing, the most blood and urine samples at the highest level they can test. We don't want any doubts in anybody that we're dirty or that either one of us is using anything. I've heard a lot of people, rumors that maybe they use illegal substances out there in their camps. They've been, the physique is different. And I'm not worried about that because we are enrolled. Both of us are enrolled. Some people will say, well, Mikey's moving up in weight. There's no way he's going to be able to do that naturally. He's going to try to use illegal substances. Well, that's why we got this testing. That's why we're doing it. My first test was already on Saturday. We enrolled last week. We were both officially enrolled. And on Saturday the 5th, I was at my son's birthday party, and they showed up, knocked on the door, and giving blood and urine. I mean, that's how it is. They're there at your door, and they need your samples. And we want to make sure that everybody knows that we're clean. We want to make sure that we both go into the fight, on a level playing field, with no, suspense on what did they use, what did they do, nothing. We're good.
Looking big picture at your career, March 16th, let's say you fight well. Win or lose, you fight well. Like, you prove to everybody you can hang in there with any welterweight in the world. Do you stay at 47, or again, do you explore all possibilities?
Well, I'll be able to explore my options. That's what I like about where I'm at right now, and the fact that I can move up in weight, in between fights like that, and still be able to perform to the best of my abilities, only gives me more options, and I really enjoy that. Cause like I said, if at one weight class it's kind of dead and it's not so exciting, or some fighters already have matches prepared, then I can move up or I can move down, and I can play a little more. I have a larger pool of opponents to look for, as to someone that's just one weight class. You might have to take one of those intermediate fights. You might have to take one of those title defenses. That's not as exciting for me, so I want to make sure that I'm getting big fights every single time, and that's what I've been doing.
5 years ago we talked, and you made it clear, I like boxing. I may not like it as much as my brother or other members of my family, and you said, hey, I do this because it's a great living. I'm very good at it. I get compensated well, and it provides me a great lifestyle. When you sat out that 2+ years with your dispute with Top Rank, I estimated you lost between $9 to $12 million, in my view, if you would have got the Pacquiao fight. So as your career's stagnating, you're still in the gym, you're still working out, you're still staying on the grind. Was there any regrets during that point with the way things turned out?
Looking back at it now, I never knew it was going to take that long to get away and break free. So looking at it now, maybe I would have probably tried to resolve the issues, a different way. But at the same time, I see it. I see everything, and it was almost like a blessing in disguise, like they say, because I've learned so much from it. And now that I'm back, things are going so well. I've said it before. It was almost like if someone was trying to, hold me back, not knowing that when I let go, it was like a slingshot effect, and I'm coming with that much more power and force. And right now, you see it. Look at where I'm at now. Look at where I was before the layoff. and my career has just, launched, forward, tremendously. So I'm very happy with the way things are going now. Yes, I might have lost, a lot of money from not fighting, and I paid a lot of money, I had a lot of fees, and it all stacked up. But now it's in a much better place. I'm happy. You got to be able to enjoy what you do. My mindset also changed. Well, you mentioned how I really didn't. I mean, I like it, but I wasn't really like in love with the sport.
Yeah.
And that's true. I never really dream about it, like doing what I'm doing now. That wasn't a dream of mine. Like most fighters, they dream about being champions, and I never had that. It was a good living, yes. It was good to win a title. It makes it in the history books and perfect. But I wasn't really happy at the moment. I would win my fight and I wouldn't even smile. Now it's different. My experiences from that have changed. And at the time, it was more about just, let's just make some money, maybe a good life, and that's it. Now it's changed. I mean, I've already got the titles. I've already done that. I've had enough money already. I could retire and live comfortable. But now I want more. I want to add more titles. I want to add to my legacy.
You would say that the Errol Spence challenge, not just a fight, it is a legacy fight.
It is. I think everybody can see that. A victory over Errol Spence would definitely let everybody know that I'm in it for a lot more than just the money, like a lot of people might think. I was in it to win, and I'm a proven fighter. I've already done it, but challenging myself that much more only tells them, the kind of fighter and the kind of person I am. I'm a competitor. I want the biggest challenge. I want to prove to everybody that I'm better than anybody else out there. And if I don't get these fights, then how can I prove? How can I prove to anybody anything? I need these fights to be able to prove to everybody, because I believe in me so much. I know I can deliver so much more that the fans and no one has still, seen everything that I can do.
All right, so you beat Errol Spence, Alexander Usyk, or Deontay Wilder. Who do you want next?
Oh man, I think we're jumping a little too many weight classes there. No, look, what I like about it is that I'll have a lot of options. Either 147 or maybe I come back down to 135, 140. I'm not sure, but I will have those options available. I'll tell you, whichever is the biggest fight. That's where I'm gonna go. Whoever presents the biggest fight, for me, and most exciting, fight. That's where I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna just take a fight just to take a fight because it's a fight. No, I want an exciting fight. I want something that's gonna excite me enough to motivate me and push me and challenge myself. And whether it's at 135, 140, 147, maybe 154. Who knows? I really don't know yet. I want to make sure I get through this fight first. Everything happens, by winning this fight.
All right, Mikey, thank you very much. This man right here takes on a stern challenge. March 16th on pay-per-view, takes on Errol Spence for the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World from Arlington, Texas. This is Steve Kim for ESPN.com.